おはようございます。おはよう。いや、さっき起きたよ。うつけ暇いらしい。ちょっと、飲み物持ってくんね。お飲み物。ちょっと持ってくるわ。よいしょ。今日はね、ハーストーリーというよくわからないね、ゲームをします。斉藤隆二国歌君だいらしい。二国歌炎上路線ましぐらいらしい。おもろいんかね。三木広いやつ。KP。お、なにこれ。どう言ってんの。ちょっと俺のパソコンさらさないで。殺人検索。お、11秒って短っ。
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
は、
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
サイモンの殺人。サイモンやっちゃったんこいつ。
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
凶器、証拠。
And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
これでどんどん検索してくんだ。凶器。あ、凶器。あれ見たやつこれ。
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
ん？これで何見ててどうすんの？サイモン。おお52個のクリップ見つかったっていう。Simon
Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass.
矛盾？
Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
8時半ごめん寝ちゃった。
It's the Rockington Arms. The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
空いいら
There's
しい。
some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with. And the barmaid they're having sometimes.
Helen.
Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks. Yes. There's an Amstrad one.
このゲームやば
He
い。
uses it for very much. There's
や
a
ばい。
printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. You know, climb the tower, save the princess. That kind of thing. Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have
い
been.
や、こいつの供述を聞いて矛盾を見つけて、なんか、
So what do we do?
お前やってんなつうらしいよ。お前やったなっつって。
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
ん？証拠。お、え？
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock tonight. Oh, the wind and the rain.
これ証拠だよね。
Fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
これ事情聴取だよな。
Made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle
時間
pegs
重要。
of her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
こうだってるよ。うん。E マイナーに D にな。いつまで歌ってんの？
Yes, the only tune that the fiddle
何を見せられてんの俺は。
play was oh the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
なんだこれ。死因ないか。パネポンの動画出る。雨。おまた弾いとるやんけ。2分36秒って俺また歌ってんだろこれ。
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a
スキップできるかも。
Should be right up your
バラード。
Two sisters came. One, all the dread. Out comes the cat.
なんだよこれ。
And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
変な展開になる。ギター。お
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was
才能はなか
tone
った。
deaf.
これ全員同じ人？コーナーストーン。コーナーストーン。コーナーストーン。同じ人か。
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
え？どんな動画よ。音楽。才能。 おはよう。時系列必要なの？なんだあと。犯人。遅刻してんじゃねえぞ。難しいなこれ。何？時系列も必要？時系列。
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
94年6月27。7月1日。4月3日。あ、自殺。自殺。おう。
Suicide?
多分追加でき
No.
る。
I mean, he would never do anything like that. He is not the kind of person to do anything like that. I mean, to hurt himself? No.
信じられない。自信。自殺。ありえない。よし。こう書いていこう。6月18日。こう具体的な内容をタグにしとけば、あれだろ。あ、これ何調べて出てくるんだ。履歴。なんだろうと。日付も書いとく？日付でも一応ここに見えてんだよな。
Suicide?
6月18。難しいねこれね。なんか全部まとめて出してほしいわ。今日ゾーン。し。おお。出た出た。
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
死体を見つけた。死体発見。いや、こう検索して事情聴取の動画を見つけて、その動画ヒットした動画からその推理するっていう。
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up.
サイモンが死んだらしい。
Suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff. About when we lived there. About the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff.
地下室。
Stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I looked down there the week before, those boxes,
箱の位置が違っていた。
pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over.
冷たいものが走っ
I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back and that's when I saw the bin bags.
ゴミ袋。
Pulled them open.
死体。
Saw the body.
サイモン？
I screamed and that's when I called the police.
どういうことどういうこと？
Open. To Sam's parents on the phone.
電話で話して
I looked up for an
思い出した。発見者っぽいね。死体発見情報。6月27。この女はコーナーストーンだよ。多分。
His body did not real. And his throat.
喉を、
It looked like his throat had been.
あ、喉が切られて死んだんだ。
And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
メガネがない。メガネなし。こんな情報いるのかな？いるの。
Well, she has a knife.
ナイフを持ってる。
She's been cooking. I guess she's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad.
病気。
Because he's ill and he might die.
何を見てんの？
It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends.
よくわかんない。いいや。
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer.
赤ちゃんを
It
失
was a
い。
hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It was just awful.
二人死んだ？どういうことや？84年。84。ダメか。赤ちゃん。赤。赤でいいな。おお、出る出る。
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
こういうね、土曜日とかにやばそうなゲームをね、消化しないとダメよね。
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then,
これ安かったと思う、多分セールで。こういう情報いらないの？
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full time at the Glaziers. That was it.
ガラス屋の社員。
We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Windows っぽい確かに。
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up, and he made me birthday
クリアでも
breakfast
推理してあれだろ
Eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later.
矛盾見つけるん
I
どう
got
やってや
to
んの
work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday. Then I came
スイッチ
home.
20日。
The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. Turned into a
赤
big
ちゃんの話で
argument.
口論。
Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So
喧嘩したんか。
Mm.
どうやってこれ推理すんの？DB チェッカー。見つかりません。どういうことなんだろう。どうすればクリアなの？喧嘩。あ、コーナーストーンの名前じゃないの？ち。お。
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your
血液を
records?
提供する。
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Well, fine, considering.
このゲームやばい。
I got back into the house today, and that was weird.
もしかして。
Knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So, like I said before, it was 3, something like that.
3時くらい。おはよう、赤坂。
I walked in, saw Simon.
サイモンが
He was on the floor of the living room.
床に行こうとあっていた。
His throat had been
床に？
cut.
さっき地下の箱の
There was a lot of blood.
中って言ってなかった？
He was dead.
これか？なになんか今なんか出た？今なんか出ました？今人っぽいの。こうなんか見つけ、あれかな、貴重な情報を手に入れるとなんか出んのか？
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags,
袋は
I think they were mirror from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there.
キノコ栽培。
The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost
了解し合った。
silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger.
内田こ
Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it.
う死体を隠す。これ自供してね。
That was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
自供してる？お！内田講師いらっしゃい。何この音楽。自供してねえか。アリバイ。終わっちゃった？隠す。お。
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night
マニアック。いや結構なんか有名らしいよこれ。
I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's.
だって彼はなんでそこで切んのよこの映像を。
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection.
もう一人の私。
When she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a
ナイフ。
something
二
like
重
that.
人格俺。
My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. TV was magical.
双
But
子
it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading
どういうこと？
books. She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made
だけ
the
どこの
attic
供
into a
述の
place
もう
where
一人の人
I
と
could play. It was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
お、なんだ。髪の長いこの女とこの短い女は別人ってこと？字が見えない。
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house.
CM
Hannah served up sandwiches, and
花。
I stayed out of sight.
まあ動画をどんどん探していけばクリアじゃない。双子。あ、双子。
Twins? Really?
え？
Are you really asking me that question? Are you out of your mind? Twins?
笑われてんねよ。お、
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
離婚で。やっぱあれだよな、二重人格っぽいよね、人格。お。配信気づかなかった。あ、髪型？ダメ。髪。おう。
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair.
いや見ないと別にあれだろ。関係ない
Actually,
よ。
her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
ラプンツェル。
What kind of hairs?
どんなムービーやねんこれ。3秒って。まだこの空白の数だけ何ファイルがあるってこと？やばくない？父。
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything else.
こういうムービーいるの？
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms.
この女別人っぽいよな。
It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that.
お願いします。
But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them. Must think it's very cool that their dad is a police detective. Mum and Dad had never had any reason to
あ、
notice.
右利き
They were
左利
always
き？
busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind.
Hannah.
She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games.
空想の友達
And
の
that
イ
Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school,
Hannah
and I
ってのは
snuck down for a piss.
双子？やっぱり。
Mum saw me in my underwear and she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. Mum was amazed.
いや違うでしょ。双子じゃねえやっぱり。双子っぽいぞ。
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H.
Hannah.
It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
あれ？ん？
What are you doing talking about Eve?
イブ？何？なんだ？
Yes. My name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
ん？間違えた。
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I
あ、
was
同
born.
時に生まれて。
The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary.
え？
Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
どういうこと？イブ。
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it in.
免許は彼女が取った。
Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything.
おっさんサイモンじゃ
She
ない？
is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush.
二重人格っぽいよ
I
ね。
let him take my virginity after a night that his
処女を捧げた。
It got difficult. And I was with Carl.
セックスって。
Sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
赤裸々に話すね。
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze.
同じ人。いや、どう
We
な
used
の？
airbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the
順
one
番
who
にカールの相手を
was
する。カール。
until Simon.
お？これはセックスで検索だろ。おい、どんだけセックス出んのよ。
No, I was 15. Carl was older, 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken
おい、
teenage
15歳と
sex.
17歳でお酒飲んでセックスすんなよ。
We did it in a church once.
教会ですんなよ、そんな聖なるところでよ。聖なる行為を。
So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's
入れ墨ある。
really important to you, you know? Family.
家族。やってんな。
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate. It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
何かがあった。
You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs?
渡部に聞かせたいよな。
You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing? No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his
花は引っ越
parents.
した。
There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again.
別々にする。これ双子なのか二重
I
人
stayed
格な
in
の
the
か
attic.
よくわからんわ。
It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing
あ、
a
ウィッグ
wig.
をかぶる。
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant,
妊娠。
but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs.
おいおい、こいつやってんな。 やっとるやん。
It felt like I was being punished.
すごいやってんねん。
But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me
あ、
this.
性病を移された。やっとるやん。やっとるやんけ。
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look
そのやっ
like
てる
me.
からでいっぱい。
She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes.
あーくん聞いていらっしゃい。やってます。
We talked about what to do.
あ、別々の人間になる時だという話も出た
I。mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
二重人格プラス双子がいるってこと？あ、カール。
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band,
あ、二重人格が自分を双子だと思い込んでる。
but he was sexy. We were 15. Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
え、マルコのナレーションの人やめちゃうの？あ、夜勤な。はい。
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see John Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went.
あ、
Kept changing
トイレで入れ
places
替わり
and
続けたってよ。
We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said
多目的。
to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules.
あ、
Deliberately
奪おう
broke
と
the
したの
rules.
向こうもう一人の。
She wanted to be the first to sleep with him.
なるほどね。
I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
お。ってことはこれ処女もあんな、処女。処女。あ、一個だけだ。ダメだね。多重。まだこんなにあんの？ 妊娠。おお、やってる。
I got pregnant.
マリーいらっしゃい。
Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
流産した。
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
推理ってか、これあれだよね、動画見るだけじゃないの？
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things.
人形の家。
We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
タトゥーとかね、怪しいの。
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant.
Hmm?
This morning sickness.
妊娠してんの？
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
座り。結婚。おう。
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
結婚してる方と
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective? I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to come back and stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I
またっ
loved
て何？
it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably
のんびりやの
awful
に久
to
しぶり。
watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us. 憎い。お、 Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her
憎んで
sometimes.
た。
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head
Eh?
underwater.
押し
There
付
was
け
no
た。
one else around.
タオテツいらっしゃい。
Far into the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill
一
her
応サイモンは死んだよね。
and watch her drown.
え、おもろいやつ？
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate
仲直
relationship.
りした。まだ全然だよ。来い。
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my
気づい
tooth
た？
first, we had to put our harness to match.
同じように抜いたわ。
Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. that night, she had to do the same to me.
なるほどね、同じ状況にするんだ。
She almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
なりすましなりすまダメか。屋根裏。
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
これ多分動画からヒントを得て検索かけてまた動画見てヒントを得て真相にたどり着くんじゃない？もうやっとるやん今それ。すでにやっとるよ。
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they? We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
何をさも自分が俺が思いついてよみたいなそんなコメント打ったのよ。もうやっとるやないの。放送開始直後から。
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there.
人形の家って
It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters, and
動画
found
調べてんのがこの女。嘘。
We wrote paperwork from them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Eve.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve.
咎められなかっ
Sent me off. My mother called me Eve.
た。ん？
My mother called me Eve.
イブと呼んだ。全部てか5個しか出ないよ俺。今イブで7個ヒットしたけどそのうちの5個しか出ない。イブと花っぽいね。母。おう。
Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out. I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
サラ
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana,
エヴァ
but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name. エヴァあ、同国へえ、箱お I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase.
ブラックいらっしゃい
I mean, all those years of marriage.
秘密がある
And she still has a secret like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and
ダグとエレノアって誰よ
I feel sorry for them.
誰なん
I got a job to contribute, Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon.
名前あったっけ
It's never just been the two of us. There's always been
両親の干渉
pressure. Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me.
いやこれ有名なゲームだよ
And I
結
remembered
構
where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him.
エリック
Then I called Doug and Eleanor.
ダグとエレノ
And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
エレノ
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day.
1日に1回は
Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
えん
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
わざとらわざとらやろ。エリック。おお、エリック大量。
He was wearing a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss.
話さないようにわざと
He had his coat,
上司のエリック。
a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house. So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show.
彼が来ない。
So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you.
ゴミ。
His parents haven't heard anything either.
ザ・ロックは違うでしょ、店でしょ。関係あるかな。
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work.
バンも
It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there
寝
now,
坊した
parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
11時半の放送に遅刻するってお前どんだけ寝てんのよ。寝すぎやろ。
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa,
ビザカ
a
ード。
silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
ダイアン。ゴイゴイスー。
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
津田好きなの。ダイアンなんかそんなずば抜けて面白いわけじゃないけど、まあ好きで。うん。
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift.
だいたい千鳥の番組見てるといるのよね、ダイアン。
It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. Time. You must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then. Not really. He would go to the pub.
パ
He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his
ゴッド
boss,
タン見て
and
な
his wife would
アマ
come
ゾン
for
ですよね。
dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines.
相席食堂の天竺ネズミのセシタの回面白かったよ。
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
さて。お
So I got in the car and I drove.
長州は鉄板な
Just
の。
kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped,
グラスゴー。
I was all the way up in Glasgow.
Let's go.
I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
M1 誰がいんの今決勝。
Yes. I got to Glasgow. I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
まあでも全然わかんない。何どうすればいいの？
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I
タク
was
シーにぶつかっ
driving
た。
badly, and I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant,
ローカレーズ
he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Oh.
Ask the hospital.
こんな短い動画をクリップすんなよ。
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed.
グラスゴーにいた。
Spoken with the hospital. It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true.
あなたはこいついらっしゃい。
Stopped at
休み
Glasgow.
今
I
日。
was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
タクシー。え、神ゲーなの？車。おう。
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night.
ウエストランド
After
わかん
the
ない。
argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car. I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I...
名前は知ってるよ、ウエストランド。吐いた？吐きました。
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
あ、つわりか。お、いいね。
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Ah, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
キッチン。
Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there. I mean, I don't
ピ
know.
スタチオ。
Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt,
I mean, why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
お、いいね。
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs.
階段で滑って。
It was an accident. I had read a
ブリリ
diary
オン
at
超
that
派よ。
point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day.
実の母じゃない。
Walked out and
初
across
見い
the
らっしゃい。
street. When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic.
ドゥルルル、ドゥルルルルデン。
We used
な
to
んだっけ
share
それ。
dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
夢。お、
Florence was a warm, kind
フローレ
person,
ンス。
but she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really
Game
spoke
there.
to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her
若くそうですね。
twenties.
もうなんかわけわかんないと思う。
But, I mean, I guess it was different then.
何の話をしてんの今。
You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't
何の
really
話
know.
を聞いてんの今。アンビリーバボーの
We were
動画っぽい
obsessed
確
with
かに。
fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They
こういうのあ
were
るよ。
dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the
Excel でメモ。
pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
フロー。
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything
後始末を任せて。
occasion. Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road.
へその緒が絡まって死んだと思われたけど生きてた
It
の
was
か
like a reflection in the mirror.
実は。
She was me.
お、双子の片方がこの女。コロコロいらっしゃい。
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and
神ゲー。
when he came back.
なんか面白そうではあるけど。
Florence's family had a firstborn girl, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread. Maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
サイモンの殺人の話はどこ行ったんよ。
Sorry. The picture, the way it's
この本
drawn.
の話はいらないだろ。ラプンツェル。
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
カードゲーム。お、
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that. It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present. Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then
流産した上に両親が亡くなっ
my parents.
た。お、
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
目的はもう謎っていうか事件の詳細をみたいなね。
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
合併症。
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its
映
course.
るの多分サイモンだな。死んだやつじゃないの
We。were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were
あ、こ
married.
いらっしゃい。
Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time
Garasya.
position after he left school. And then
そして
no, he doesn't have any.
タトゥーは入れてない。
He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though.
メガネもあれか、あんの
Takes
か
them
な。
off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
メガネあった。死体がかけてなかったんだっけ。サイモン。
Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers. And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends and Simon had a part-time job there
え、
too.
本好きだったっけ？あ、好
That
き
was
かも。い
Eric's generosity.
や、メモを取ってないけど、いけるよ、なんとなく。
Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale
Boys.
prince from one of my books.
笑ってるで。違う。
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back.
この人が殺したんじゃないかっていう。
I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house.
ポケットか。ない。へえ。アリバイからちょっといけるか。この動画からちょっと。
It happened very quickly.
時計。時計は私のアイデアよ。時計か？ああ、違う。あ、字幕読めない。時間。
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
時間が合わない。
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once.
なんだ。あ。あ、今あった。あ。あるやん。
There's no couple stuff. A stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows
Colon.
the official buttons better than those you're close to.
お。
No. I think he spoke to Helen.
ヘレ
He
ン。
said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said.
また出たぞ、ヘレン。
He likes Helen. He likes blondes. No. I mean, yes. we
Helen
have
って。
arguments, but
あれじゃん。
he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
西川じゃん。
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
怒るでしかし。ヘレン。おい、ないじゃねえか、ヘレン。なんだい。9。9。
This was 9, about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry. The kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued,
取っ組み合った。
cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off.
ウィッグ。
Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
ウィッグやってねえな。おお。
A wig? You mean... What type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
つけたことない。
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
猫の入り口。お、なんだ？
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway.
今日休み。
They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
猫用の入り口がある。
No, no cat. My parents had a cat
Domino.
before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but
そっから入れるっ
if
て？
you're thin, you could maybe squeeze
マ
through
ジで？
it. When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on
あ、
radiator pipes or
叩いてたな。
floor.
やってた。
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway. We loved our cat, Domino. He had
Domino.
this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself.
あ、筆跡、
about
筆
handwriting
跡同じなの。
identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
ないか。メモ。おお、だいぶ埋まってきたよみんな。だいぶ。あ、暗号。あ、ない。信号。秘密。お、お。
Okay, you got me. I'll confess.
告白する。
We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name.
偽名を使って。
We stayed at the hotel.
ホテル。
Had room service. Didn't leave the room. Had a great view of the river. And you could hear the church bells.
タトゥーあるね。若奥いらっしゃい。
Like you said, it was very romantic. It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon.
経費を使っておく。
No one murdered
経
my
費使っちゃダメだろ。
husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
経費。今問題になってるような経費で海外に行ってなんか視察するっつって遊んでたっていう。見たぞ。教会関係なくない？教会これじゃないの。 1個だけ。
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, well, I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah.
人の金さて
And
な。
I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
理由。おお。
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass. The
鏡。
kind of mirror a princess would have in a story.
鏡。
He made it especially for me. Yes. No lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
逮捕。逮捕やってんねな。探偵助手。逮捕。おお。
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something. Ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
血やった。
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me?
怒ってんね。
No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
おおお。
Are you arresting me? No.
やってるよ。
Fuck off.
お、バックオフ。
Open this door.
怒ってんな。
This is a nicer room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them?
ナイフ。ないか。あ、弁護士。
Yes. I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
必要ない。理解。
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange.
オックスフォ
Both
ード。
realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring
あ、
back.
鏡やってねえや。鏡。
I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party
もう
hat
一人の
and
私は。
waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
あれ鏡だ。鏡。1個。
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe.
2階に置いた。
Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
誕生日。いや、でも生まれるやったよな。やっぱり。8。
I think when I drove back, it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
7、6。
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
5、4。よし。
No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago.
水道管
Someone sang you from the rock.
3。
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone?
目撃者。
An intruder. This is the 3rd day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions. About me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
容疑者。容疑。
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
庭。合図。合図って。へえ。侵入。侵。王子。王子でも話で出るんじゃないの？あ、1個だけ。ラプンツェルの。
Really changes. You just become more yourself. Simon was my prince, and that hasn't changed.
自分。おお、いいね。
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words,
すごいカラフル。
perspective. Everyone's on the same page. At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still
毒
been
も
at
やってみた
home,
の？毒。
maybe I could have done something. I didn't. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
毒。夫。
I haven't been into work. I mean, I guess I've just been waiting, waiting to hear from you, hear from my
あ、警察。
husband.
多重人格がダメだったから多分ない。
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff
夫
accumulates.
婦。
We could argue about
夫やったの？
anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything.
警察。違反。ホテル。おお。
And the hotel said he was there.
3秒って何？浮気なんてあったっけ？おお、やるね。すごいじゃん。
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because She thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay because she finds out it wasn't her husband.
あ、これ本の話か。
And so it's fine.
5個だよ、5個ヒット。
An affair. Simon wasn't having an affair.
この動画多分浮気って調べないと出ないよね。浮気とサイモンぐらいしかヒットしないじゃん、これ。
No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon.
必要なの今の動画。みんな5秒とかで出る。5
You
秒。
asked that question yesterday.
昨日。
Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can. 昨日愛おお No. I mean,
疲れていた
everyone loves Simon.
喧嘩やった
He was so nice to everyone. He loves me.
愛してた
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier. He doesn't have much money.
金
I don't know. I don't know. Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you?
連絡嫉妬嫉妬嫉妬嫉妬で出ないんかこれ変換おやすみ来い夢紙メモダメだ助産師助産ラプンツェルやった信じる AVA 関係ない人絶対あの話関係ないと思う多分やっぱ関係ないあ、子供水おお
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
コーヒーおおコーヒーで3つヒット
Black coffee, thanks.
わからんもんだなこれ
No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
こんなんでもヒットするんだな
Black no sugar. Thanks.
ブラック
Black
あれでも砂糖入れなかったさっき
It was a present.
砂糖かなんか
I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have one cup.
へえ、砂糖。お砂糖で3つヒット。どういうことやねん。
A cup of tea would be good, thanks. Just one sugar.
なんだこのゲーム。
Just the one sugar. Thanks. Is that camera recording?
録画。
Coffee, I guess.
お、
Milk and sugar.
ミルクと砂糖も。ミルク、ブラック。
Oh, tastes fine to me. As long as it's black and strong, I'm good.
濃い。紅茶。おお、紅茶でこんなヒットすんの。
Could I have a cup of tea?
こんなんヒットすんなよ。どんな動画やねん。紅茶をいただけるってどんな動画や。
Maybe a fresh cup of tea?
どんな動画やねんこれ。事情聴取に必要ないだろ俺。
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper.
新聞、
He wasn't there.
映画じゃない。
I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing.
リビング、ベ
I
ッドルー
walked
ムがいけ
upstairs
ん
to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower.
シャワー。
Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted.
本当にあったの俺。
So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
記憶。
Just became our way of life.
一人の人間を二人で順番に演じるようになった。もう言ってるやん。
Whoever had been out that day would
Nikki?
come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second
これじゃな
through
い？
those rules.
だいぶこれ確信に迫ってるよ。
Rules for things that could only ever happen in
前も言ってた？
some imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
ルール。
Okay, she's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared,
無
not
実。
guilty.
ありそう無実。やってみっ
Maybe
か。
it was mistaken identity.
絶対あんな。
Did they catch her there? I don't know. It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him.
セックスなんてもんな。
We didn't share him like the others.
サイモンとのセックスも共有しようよ。
Me living in the attic had become weird in a way it hadn't been before.
無実。
I can take the stuff off now. Did I prove I'm innocent?
何これ、嘘発見器。ベッド。お、
In the bedroom?
ベッドルーム。何の動画やねんこれ。
That can't be right. In the bedroom?
何の動画やねんこれ。
I sleep on the right side of the bed as you come in from the door. You can tell because I have two pillows and he just has one.
枕。シャワー。日記やったっけ。共有。
Yes.
あ、コート。
I thought about telling Hannah.
キス。
I felt guilty after the kiss.
コップ。
But then it began to feel like this was the way it should be. Sharing. Like we had before.
あ、鍵ね。
He never mentioned her to me.
キス、コップ、
There was
鍵
the。Simon with me and the Simon with her.
二人のサイモンがいるよ。
It was almost like it was a different Simon.
なんかサイモンもそういう
But
二重人格違うよな。
nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
ロマンチックだった。実績解除。
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people.
別人であること。
He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing.
サイモンは気づいてたんか。
Yes, I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key. No, I don't think it was. I turned the key, but it was already unlocked.
ロック。
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess the rock.
あ、ロックってそっち
We've
もだったん
spoken
だ。
to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too.
そういえば。タトゥー。やっぱり。
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake. So I moved out. sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
リンゴヘビ。
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
最低やなこいつ。
He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
サイモンも割とやってんねん。リンゴ。ヘビ。コート。コップ。アダム。エデンとか関係あんの？アダムイブ関係ないでしょ。罠。うんちじゃないよ、うんちは。なんだと。推測。夜。部屋。あ、キッチンありそう。キッチン。ないか。セックスもやった。靴。昼。C やった。おおすごくない？すごいでしょ、これ。はいおはよう。指輪。お
No. No, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring.
妊娠。人でいくか。結構ヒットすんの。ダメなのね。彼女。男。じゃあ男。おお。よし。
God, I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe someone followed him back from the pub.
つけてきた男がいた。
But why would he let them in? Doesn't make sense. No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all
あんな
these
男た
guys.
ち。体。 女。パブ。お、1個。
No, not drugs.
ドラッグ。
I mean, he drinks, but never very much.
ドラッグ。
He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but
ワイン。
he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
問題。ワイン。酒。服。おお、服着た。
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but
髪やった。
look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me. Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes,
鏡やった。
pretended to be me.
振り。
They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present,
プレゼント。
another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique
装飾。
present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just
Ah!
swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
あ
She'd only meant to scare him
あ、
off.
これじゃないの。
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It was a special one-off. He made it and decorated it. That's his thing. Where did you find it?
で、どうすんのこれ。どうすればわかんのこれ。喉。お、
On his throat. How?
破片。なんだと。なんだ胸あるわけないよ。あんのかい。凶器やったと思う。なんだと。データベースチェッカーだろ。見つけた動画がどんぐらいあるかっていう。で、今この緑の数だけ動画を見たわけだよ。隠す。赤どれ赤って。死因やった。あ、威嚇。うっかり。犯人やったんじゃね。出ないよ。犯。 あ、ドラッグない。間違えた。間違い。お
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong.
あ、あなたは間違ってるわ。
My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector
あ、
works.
嘘発見器。嘘。嘘。おー。
Yes. I'll take a lie detector test.
あ、私は殺せない。探偵。実績探偵だよ。
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
これクリアあんのこのゲーム。もう。お
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one. Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
実写ゲーだよ。泣くお
She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round.
ファッキング馬は俺がヒッ
I
トす
guess
る
I
の。
had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that.
お悲しい。
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
サイモンの両親の家は嫌。だってうるさいもん。電話やった。草。あんのかい草。友達。おう。
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End.
デートオデオン。
We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
あ、助け。オデオン。デート。プロ。自供。あ、自供。国。無理。何は命気になる気に右左上おえ
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen. And the
椅子の上で
chest
バランスを
and
崩
I
す
kind of hit the door with my face. It hurt like hell.
こんな何でヒットすんのむしろ。
Good. Happy. I mean, ups and downs like any couple, I guess, but we've been married for over 10 years. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding.
写真
But if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
あざ写真遺体許す手術ドレス怪我ダイアナないだろ。一人二人二一ゼロ。お
So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
性生活って性だな性性な
No, Simon wasn't seeing another woman. Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private?
プライベートプライベート
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm quite a private person and I didn't want to get into the detail of the argument.
詳細お
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me.
口論や
Do
っ
you want
た
to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale. I was living in the attic. It was a
あ家族
very
やってないっけ
hard time. I was depressed. Was still
性病ね
sick of the STD. When I came down one morning, they were dead.
暴
They
力
were
やった
in
かな
bed
多分
and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was mushrooms they ate.
キノコ
Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them. And there's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
家家族口キノコもうわからないな うわー、だいぶ埋まってるけどね。こんにちは。さい。お、
I think it
お待ちをいらっ
was
しゃい。
that time,
初めてしたときに
at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant.
初めてで妊娠したの。
Amazing, right?
すごい。
This fucking magic sperm.
魔法の精子よね。何言っ
They
とん
say
や。
lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
喜怒。話す。喜ぶ。お、いいねいいね。
I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy.
ミラクルない
I
っしょ。
could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
顔が浮かぶのなんかいい映像っぽいの見つけるとなる。なんか怒る。バーやったな。お、
Hurt someone? Yes. But everyone thinks that from time to time, right? You just want to lash out.
力。病気。体調。お、
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant,
不満。
but it didn't happen. I slept with so many
DV.
boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now?
決定的。
Felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
存在になった。存在。不満。あ、整理やってない。整理。ないね。座りあった。異なる。生活やったと思うけど。おー、やってなかった。6秒。
Are you married? How is your sex life?
セックスライフじゃないのよ。
Simon was very moral about that sort of thing. He wouldn't just walk out there and sleep with anyone. He wasn't that kind of guy. He took his marriage very seriously.
離婚。大事。大。
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
週末週掃除。お、いいね。
Yes, yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. With the fingerprints in all those places.
あ、指紋指紋。おお、みんな来たぞ。いいの。
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven.
やけどの跡がある。
Fingerprints.
お、これなんだこの動画。指紋がのどれかしかヒットしないやんこれ。
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
嘘でしょ。
Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. How can you do it?
バカじゃないの。バカ。バカ。一致。わあ、埋まってんな。結構埋まってるよ。あ、やけどだ、やけど。やけど。ん？やばいよね、このゲーム。クリアがわかんないけど、このゲーム。指。傷。はてん。曜日。おお。
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
土だろ、土。土。土。違うか。悪。リードミー。完全に一致することは探せる。あんまり重要なのないの。アンド検索でもいらないっしょ。いる？苦しく。お！
Okay. Sounds weird. I'm not great at making up stories.
あ、苦手。作る。積む。嘘やったな。話もやったんじゃない？手。足こき、床。エロ動画を探してるわけじゃないのよ、俺は。リアリーリードミー。あ、洪水でやられたから探せって頑張って。黒。わからないよー。 箱、人形、スパの設定だね。アンチグレアとか。トイレ、鏡破片。鏡でどんぐらいヒットすんの？ 13 個。スペース使えんだっけ？地下やったんじゃね？かい。鏡ノードやったよね。わかんないもう。動機。終わりかこのゲーム。バー5個。気づく気。顔。お、
Silver leaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
嫌い。嫌い。銀箔関係なくない？映る。アン。アンティーク。アンティーク関係あるか？こ。お。
No. I'm not sure what strange would be.
あ、様子はなかったの。この子がヒットした。
It's been busy at work. Nothing too stressful.
ストレス。密。学。もう無理だね。限界だね。もう結構やったよな、こういうの。すごくない？結構すごいけどね、これ。結構すごいぞ。なのよダメか。のよよし。
Yes. Like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end.
物語。物。なの
Cute. You must love them very much. What ages are they?
へえ。ああ。そう。でしょ？それ。あれ。これ。どれです。ます。ダメだもん。可能。わからん。はい。お！
I wasn't in the house.
家に Y はい。そこかい。もうダメだって、無理だよ、もうみんな。限界や。いない。いる。もう無理。5個以上絞る人あんのかな。まだ。限界じゃない？これ何？ハック。なんか、アスキーアートがあるよ。これ何これ？何これ？オセロ。あ、オセロか。俺赤。これプレイヤー2って誰か相手いないと意味ないじゃん、これ。一人やっても。なんだ本当。もう無理じゃない、これ以上。裏。無理やで。
Like I said before, it was 3.
切る。サク。首。何か分かった。まあでもこの女がやったことは分かったけど。
trip down there the week before.
1。ゴミ袋。あ、だってかタトゥーね、あれ。
It happened very quickly.
血に染まった服を協力。
The watch attached. Suspicion on us.
疑い。クリアあんのかなこれ。時間やったよ。クリアあんのか。真犯人。自分で納得したらクリア。そういうこと？スチーム。アイコン別にないよね。なんだろう。事件の真相を導き出しましょう。クリア。クリアあるのかこれ。やってみっか、いろいろ。過去。クリアないの？ある？どうしたらクリアなの？計画。年。え。お。か。き。く。け。こ。無理だな。どれだけ終わっちゃったんですよ。検索多すぎ。もうないもん。何これ。ヒント。マジすか。お互い。だってもうこんだけだもんな。ここら辺なんだこれ。 シーツ。いや動画見れない。これ場所がね調べらんないのよこれ。見た。見る。色。だお。あ、出た。
Okay. I'll
あ
try my best
思い
to
出す。
remember.
こんなのがあるんだねだって。動画全部見てもクリアになんない？どうすればクリアなの俺。あ、時計？何？クリアどうすればなんの？あれ終わったのか。終わった。はい。あ、君のお母さんがなぜあんなことをしたのか。君のお母さんが。はい。あ、流産で死んだ。サラ。外で待ってるからログオフして出てきてくれ。終わった。あ、ログオフしろって。サラだったの？このゲームどうなん？あ、サラで検索しろ。娘が自分のお母さんの犯罪の動画を見てあれだろ？自供してる動画を見て真相みたいな。サラって単語出たっけ？出た？嘘？検索してなかった俺。サラ。何回も出たっけ？そうだった？あれ、サラやったよね。あ、サラかエヴァにする。エヴァはあれでしょ？旦那が、サイモンがエヴァにしたいっつったんだね。確か。なんかこのムービー怖いんだけど。 怖ないなんか。サラ、もし、あなたがスタック、えサラ。やっぱサラやってんの？オフライン。終わりか？
I would have been a good mother.
サラに決めてた。まあ、いっかも、このゲーム。アドミンアドミンアンロック。おすげえ増えた増えたよ。で、ないな、全然。全然ない。あ、鏡ってそんなにヒットしたっけ？あ、一個だけ。
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors, and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
誕生日ってか生まれるやったよ。28個ヒット。あ、1個だけ。
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this
姉妹。
sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She knew. 歌？喉？鹿？なんだこれ。おハテナマークで1個ヒット。2秒。何これ。 What about us?
は？ お、タッチ。
It's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby.
お、上の方だいぶ埋まったね。すべてない。あ、サイモン。こんにちは。イブ。彼。73個。お、いいね、1個。
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl.
うん
The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
ない。魔女はなくない？もう戻る。お、
My sister is gone, and she's never coming back.
もう良くないかも、このゲーム。良くない？いや、もうクリアしたよ。全部探すのはやっぱりやり込みになる。これ探すのちょっと厳しいよね。どんな話だった？まあとんでもない話だったよね、本当に。間違えた。とんでもなかったよ。まさかな。間違えた。ちょっと待って、終わんない。今日さ、オーガバトル、6時間ぐらいやっちゃっていい？もう終わらせたいんだよね。がっつりやって。あのゲームムカつくのよ。オーガバトル俺もうダメだ。嫌い。好きだな。今日で終わるんで。昨日レベル上げしたんで、 もう大抵、やれることやったから、ポンポン進んでくれるかなと、今日。じゃあちょっと、やるわ。いや、ストーリー面白いけど、なんかシステムがムカつく。俺嫌い。嫌いです。で、14時45分から6時がやるかな。いいっすか？いや、飯会に今日はいいかな。うん。14時半すぐじゃん。枠取れなくね？じゃ、ちょっと待って。わかった。じゃあ、14時半からやるわ。じゃあ、ちょっと切るね。じゃあね。切ります。じゃあな。